Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you beautiful people out there. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Leo collective in early May 2026? Such a beautiful time of year, my friends. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the lovely Leo collective in early May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick, hopefully. You know me, I always love to read the jumpers. Sometimes your cards pop out quick, sometimes it takes a few shuffles. And we do have a card that always makes me crack a smile. We have Mr. Bookhead. Right? If you've been watching a while, you may have seen this individual a few times, and it just makes me laugh, like the way it looks with the book hat and book necklace. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So the big overall vibe with this young individual, with the book for a hat, book for a necklace, book in the arms, we got scrolls, glasses, and spectacles. To me, it really reminds me of the Page of Pentacles, which is usually a pretty good thing. Pages represent like a newer, fresher, youthful type of energy, so that's usually great. But they're also communicators, aside from learning. Now, for some Leos in this time, now is a great time to dig for information, learn new things. You might have a really hungry mind in this time. So whether it's things you just want to learn, whether it's a literal schooling yourself or just trying to learn more about a situation, that could all be in play. But the Page of Pentacles is also a clear messenger of some kind. So communication could be an important note in this week's reading with the page. Now, the only downside to Page of Pentacles energy, sometimes it can be very hush hush, right? Where it's like, I want to say something, but I don't. Usually Leos are very bold, where it's like, I speak my piece. But yeah, sometimes the Page of Pentacles could be like, should I say this? Should I not? Should I bring it up? So there's something about that going on here. But overall, I like it, especially with the nice style. So we're going to let the bookhead chill over there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Leo collective. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So there was tower-like energy showing up last week. Reading was titled A Shocking Situation. So again, not every tower is a bad tower. Sometimes towers are good. But to me, it felt like just something popping up completely out of the blue. So hopefully it was a good one for you. But just, again, keep your head on the swivel over the coming days and weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Leo collective. Oh, okay. Page of Swords. All right, so we got a lot of page energy happening here for you. That is not by accident, my good friends. I think the Page of Swords is cool. It's a little more defensive than the Page of Pentacles. So we're going to have to see. There's a caution involved with that page. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, these are all very similar vibes. Aces and pages have a lot of similarities. It could be actually really good for some of you too. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here for my good friends. Okay, 8 of Wands. So I would absolutely say communication is at the heart or the root of this reading, for good, bad, or indifferent, because every single card, including our first oracle, have these undertones of communication to it. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading, gives us a lot of insight on how the energy is flowing. And we got air, earth, and fire. Cool. Nice little mixture. 2 of these elements work very good with Leo energy, specifically the air and the fire. These could be different areas of life, but there is a common thread that goes between them all. So you might be dealing with situations like that where it's like everything is kind of interlocked and interconnected. But with the air right here in position number one, it's much more cerebral. It's much more planned out. It does speak about the logical mind, highly cued into information and acquiring it. Air is huge, especially for the planning aspect. But the downside to air energy, sometimes it could be a little overthinky. Sometimes this energy could be a little cold and detached, withdrawn. So we want to keep an eye on it. Moving to the middle, we have earth, much more planted, grounded. I always say it could represent sense of stability and security, whether it's internal or external. When I see earth, I think of our day-to-day life, day-to-day routine. Earth can represent money, work, business, finance, home, and family. So think of the earthly realm that we live in. Uh, the downside to earth, sometimes it could get a little dry. Sometimes it could get a little stubborn or set in place or feel like something's not changing or moving. So we want to keep a close eye. And then we have fire, boom, right here on the back end. That's your power element. That's your comfort zone. Fire is the realm of action. So whether it's the actions you take, actions other people take, actions you want to take, I would say it represents vitality and energy levels as well. So maybe you're going to get a nice burst of energy here. The downside to the fire, I'm sure you could guess it, it's similar to that tower where it could just boom, it could be a little explosive and volatile. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with another page energy, right? And again, the common denominator that you'll see is that all of these do have a heavy tie into communication, talks, and messages. And the Page of Swords is no different. Similar to the book head in the beginning, Page of Swords is a student or a messenger, but it does show up in a totally different vibration, that's for sure. Now, when it comes to the Page of Swords, yeah, it could be an air sign you're connected to, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be. But notice, sword up, a little defensive, a little cautious. So there might be certain things or situations that you could be approaching with caution, or Spirit might want you to. I don't want to say it's standoffish, but another thing about this card is that it can be the watcher of the tarot deck. A lot of people say that. So again, whether there's a situation or something where Spirit's like, hey, Leo, keep an eye on this one. Maybe you're getting a little more attention than you normally do too, right? Like the page, it could either mean we're being observed or we're doing the observing. So we want to keep an eye on that. The big downside with the page, similar to the other one, is like it could be a suppressed type of energy. Sometimes it could be a little shy and bashful and second guess itself. So we're going to have to see what's going on with this page, whether it's someone else's energy or yours. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and these are very similar to pages. And I love the Ace of Pentacles. To me, it's a golden opportunity from the universe. You know, when certain things just like happen or just fall into your lap, that's what I always think of with the Ace of Pentacles. But messages, talking, communicating, offers, opportunities. So heavily, heavily tied into speaking. So we really do want to try to get as much detail as possible when we clarify it. Again, Ace of Pentacles is golden opportunity time, but what might be the downside of this? It could be waiting too long to say something or waiting too long to act. So watch out for that in this time. Which again, usually Leos are pretty good at like timing things. When I see the Ace of Pentacles, it's like, hey, you gotta act now. It's like limited time only type of vibes. So just keep an eye on things like that. Now, moving to the back end, we have a very rapid moving energy. So it's like we pick up steam as we move through the reading. We have the Eight of Wands, and we see these 8 wands cutting through the sky. They always remind me of arrows. So it's one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire deck. The biggest thing, I'm sure you could guess it, communication, conversation, especially one that has a little more fire to it, where it's like fiery, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If we're not talking about communication, conversation, action, just like the suit says. So it's like I'm doing something and I'm not thinking about it. I'm just diving in, making something happen. So I usually like this, but the downside to the Eight of Wands, sometimes the volatility, it could be act first, ask questions later. This is an energy that can do something without fully thinking it through. It could be a little risky, so to speak. And again, with the conversation, it could be something that intensifies quickly, especially when we go from the page to the ace to this. It's like, whoa, that happened. Like that's an energy that picked up steam real quick. So I want to dive deeper on all of this, my beautiful Leos. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me, so feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Page of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Leo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Page of Swords here? Quick. Yeah, there's like an energy where it's like I'm waiting and I'm expecting something to pop back up. All right, so we have the Six of Cups in the upright. This is usually one of the cards of something popping back up. So again, not saying that everything in every single situation is just going to hit the repeat or replay button. But yeah, the Page of Swords with the Six of Cups, it's like, oh, I'm just waiting on it. I know it's coming. So there could be a variety of things. So whether it's thought processes, situations, individuals, where it's like, you know what? I'm going to be cautious, but I'm going to give this another shot. So like there's this other energy here too of like giving something another go, or give it another try. That's a big thing. Now the Six of Cups can also represent soul ties, soul connections. Notice it's two children sharing the cup, so it does imply a lot of history and a lot of past. So yeah, that's the main thing I'm picking up here. Now for some Leos with the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups, this could absolutely be reminiscing, like, you know, when you speak and share memories, like, hey, you remember 10 years ago when you did this? Or hey, something happened years ago, we need to talk about that. It's like one of those too, where it's like we're speaking about the past. That's initially what's coming up here. And again, the Watcher, the tarot deck, I can't discount that energy as well. So we have this like expectant energy, this potential returning energy, a lot of stuff packed in here with this page. So we're just going to put this card back right here, and we are going to keep it moving. Let's keep going. We're going to go in on the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there could be a variety of different things where it's like we're touching on it again, we're speaking about it again. It's like following up, kind of. So let's go in on the Ace. Pardon me. Why's the Ace here? Thank you. Again, it's like an energy where it's like, no, we need to sort this thing out. Judgment in reverse. Another one of these energies that loops back on you real quick. Now, the one thing I'll say about judgment, before I even put it in place, Archangel Gabriel, the messenger of God, right? That's what this archangel's called. This card could sometimes represent literal decisions and judgments, but it's change, it's transformation, it's metamorphosis. So when I see it in reverse, it's like, not so fast, we still need to talk about this. So watch out for like unfinished business, unfinished situations. Again, there's this energy where it's like we need to talk about this again, or we're talking about the past. In its lightest sense, there could be a lot of memory sharing and reminiscing happening. That's like the big one. There's a lot of memories, reminiscing. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here. So there could be a variety of things popping back up. Just watch out for the unfinished business, because there could be certain situations where you feel like, no, there's still more there, or there's something I still need to figure out. There's something I still need to work through. I don't want to say it's something like baggage. To me, it just feels like it's something that's unfinished. Like there's more to come. We're going to keep going. Because, yeah, that's very strong. Both ends here. Both of these energies. Like, we're talking about things that have already occurred. So let's see what the 8 has. And then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. So why is that 8 of Wands here for the lovely Leos? Thank you. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles. This energy, it is very, very slow moving. So there could be a thing, a situation, a conversation, whatever it might be, where Spirit could be saying, take your time. Do not rush it. And listen, as a fire sign myself, I know we have a lot of pep in our step, right? We got a lot of get up and go. When there's certain things we want to do, certain things we want to accomplish, certain things we want to have, it's like, no, we want it now. We want it yesterday, right? So when I see the 8 of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, whoa, slow it down. Don't rush into something, or don't rush out of something. There's this energy here where it's like, really take your time with it. So whether it's a situation, a decision, for some of you, this could even be taking some time to slow down too. Like if you've been busy, dealing with this, dealing with that, like this energy is like, let's slow it down like several notches, like not just one notch. We're slowing it down several notches, which I think is okay. To me, it doesn't feel like screeching and slamming on the brakes. 8 of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles, again, another conversational type of energy. So with that and all those things and the returning and unfinished business, there's just so much communication here. I'd say 5 of the 6 cards, it could even be argued all of these cards have the communication undertone. This could be a very important or serious talk as well, right here on the back end. And in which case, it's like, don't just wing this, take your time with it. Where it's like, hey, if there's something you want to address, something you want to say, it's like, be very particular about what you say and how you say it. Like, take your time, don't rush it. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here. So, interesting stuff, a lot of chit chat. And again, it could definitely be coming from elsewhere, but it's just like a lot of chat going on here. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadows. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we start with the Page of Swords, Six of Cups. A lot of information was streaming through right there. Did feel very reminiscent, like, hey, Leo, you remember back when this happened? So there's a lot of daydreaming, taking trips down memory lane, all that kind of stuff. But it's like I'm kind of expecting something to come back, or I'm expecting something to swoop back around on me. I don't know what this expectation might be. There could be the eyes on that aspect as well. But even moving to the middle, we have the Ace of Pentacles with Judgment in reverse. So we do have the returning type of vibe. So it could be a whole variety of different things. But there's just something here about speaking about things that have already transpired. So things that have already happened. So that's a big theme this week in communication in general. So there could be a variety of things. Just watch out for unfinished business. Whether it's new, whether it's old, there's something here about trying to work out some unfinished business. Moving to the back end, we have the Eight of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles. There's something that Spirit either wants you to not rush into, slow down, or take your time with, where it's like, hey, just don't rush it. Like, let this energy slow down a notch. And again, for some of you, this could even just represent like taking a little time. If things have been a little wild, if you've been go, 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 this energy could be Spirit saying like, hey, you need to slow it down several notches. Or someone does, right? But there's so much chit chat and stuff going on. Watch out for the gossipy aspect. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a bad thing. They could be good too. So let's get you one. What do we got for Leo in the shadows? Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get it going here. What do we got for Leo? Okay, cool. Queen of Cups. Yeah, and this energy is like a little more closed off. Now, the Queen of Cups, it could just represent, a water sign, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. She does represent double the emotion, double the feeling. So for some Leos in this time, you might be feeling things a little more intense than you normally do when we have her show up in the shadows. But as we were seeing all this conversation, communication in the main spread, the shadow side of her is suppression. Right? I always say that when it comes to the Queen of Cups, this is an energy that'll push things down, down, down. Things that they think, things that they feel. I'm going to push it down, down, down until eventually it erupts forth. So I would say in this time, watch out for too much suppression of things. Maybe you just need to get the energy out slowly if we look at the whole context of the reading. But in the good sense, the Queen of Cups is very loving, very caring, intuitive, and emotionally tapped in. So again, you might just be feeling things a little stronger. We're going to put her down right there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My May calendar is up and the spots go quick, so you might want to check it out. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to win either a copy of the Tarot of the Owls, beautiful deck, and it's really nice, or 3 custom-made pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of the cards that showed up in this week's reading, which one caught your attention most or resonated with you most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the Posts tab. My friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.